What's up, everybody? I interrupt a song to let you know that it is a beautiful, wonderful Tuesday morning here in the Seacrest Studio at Children's Hospital, Colorado, especially since we have a very special edition of our friend Maya's show, Maya's Latest News to Keep You in the Groove. Maya, why is today's special edition special?
Because Cobie Smulders is on the phone.
Oh my gosh! That is awesome!
Hi, everybody.
We're so starstruck, we're hardly speaking over here.
Maya's breathless right now.
Hi, Maya. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great now that I'm here talking to you.
That's awesome. Maya, I know you have a bunch of questions. Go
Give
for
her
it.
a question.
Okay, so who or what inspired you to start acting?
Great question, Maya. I feel like as a child, I had a really strong imagination, and I was always creating characters, creating stories on my own, and that sort of translated into a job. I think at the time it would create, lead me anywhere. But now looking back, I realized that because I was creating these stories and creating these characters, it was making me want to do it professionally. So there wasn't. I mean, I have a lot of people that I'm fans of. There wasn't really one person that stood out to me. It was more living in the world of creating stories that I wanted to be a part of.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so How I Met Your Mother is one of my favorite shows.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I've been like rewatching it all. And okay, two of my favorite episodes are Murtaugh and then the pineapple incident.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it always cracks me up, and I love your character, Robin Scherbatsky, a.k.a. Robin Sparkles. Did you ever have to do multiple takes because it was so hard not to crack up?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody who is on the show is even funnier in real life. And I have a problem with the laughter and with like getting giggles on set. And it got so bad to a point because Jason and I would really make each other laugh. So they stopped writing scenes where it was just us because it would take too long. So yeah, it was a challenge, a constant challenge, but. Once we would have a lot of time, so we didn't feel like too much pressure because our show wasn't shot in front of a live audience. We didn't have a live audience, even though you hear a laugh track. So there wasn't that kind of pressure where there was a live audience watching, and if you messed up, it was hard to go back. We were able to just kind of go back whenever we needed to. But if there was a live audience, we would probably be in trouble.
So, what was your favorite or one of your favorite episodes to film?
I loved, first of all, thank you for pronouncing the character's last name right, because people don't. But it was, you reminded me because you Robin Sparkles after that, and I think it was probably the first Robin Sparkles was my favorite one that we did because when it was brought up to me, I was so surprised and excited that I was going to have the opportunity to do this side of the character, which was so strange and kind of funny and weird. And the idea of being an 80s pop star was such a delightful concept to me. So I was really excited to do it, and then shooting the music video was so much fun, and we got to do it so many times in terms of multiple music videos. But that first one, the Let's Go to the Mall one, the very first episode, remember what it was called. You probably know Maya more than me. I shot too many of them. But that was my favorite one that we ever did.
That's awesome. We were just singing that song to hype up for your interview.
Yeah.
It's a song. You know, when Carter and Craig, who are the creators of our show, they were in a band together. They're musicians as well. And they wrote that song, Let's Go to the Mall. It was a kid's song, which was titled Let's Go Play in the Snow. So let's go play in the snow today. So just kind of reworked some lyrics. And they're so musical. I mean, one of the things I love about our show is the music. Is they've done such a great job at infusing music, and they love musicals, which I think is pretty obvious. Carter and Craig sing the ba-ba-bas at the beginning. That's from their band and singing it. So it's sort of, music has played a huge role in our show throughout the 9 years that we did it.
Cool. Yeah. So Stumptown is another one of my favorite shows. And I actually interviewed Jake Johnson a couple months ago.
Say that again?
He's a very nice guy. Did you enjoy talking to him?
Yeah.
Good. Were you a New Girl fan too?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Dex she's such a cool character. She's such a strong woman, and I actually went as her for Halloween. So,
hey, oh my gosh, Maya, that makes me so happy. What did you end up wearing?
Did you say what did you end up wearing?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you wear, Maya?
I wore, I had this white kind of striped t-shirt and then a jacket, which actually was too tight. So I couldn't really move my arms, but then,
Yeah.
A hat, and I was just trying, I went to my mom and my sister and I went to so many stores trying to find things. So I think
Well, that really makes me excited. I'm so honored that you address her. She's a super fun character.
Yeah.
And it seems like her, you're a very strong woman as well. So it feels right. It feels like a good match.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So what drew you to the role of Dex?
Well, for a lot of things we're talking about, I think it's really exciting to play a strong woman, to show a woman who is strong but who is equally flawed, and to be able to play somebody who is struggling but is able to fight the fight and fight her own personal demons and hopefully, come out on top. We haven't gotten that far yet, but I find it very interesting. I think that there is a huge amount of strength in people who are in the trenches battling their own stuff, and so it was exciting to portray. She's really funny. She's super honorable, but she's a bit of a mess too. So it was a really interesting character to jump into.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I actually didn't know about the graphic novels until the show premiered, and then my sister got me the first 2 of the graphic novels.
Oh, very cool.
So.
Yeah, the graphic novels are great. I mean, that was definitely for me, when the project came my way, I thought, I was so excited to be able to read the graphic novel and sort of see visually what these people looked like and what the world was like and kind of what the tone would be. And so we're taking a lot from the graphic novel, and obviously now we're on our 18th episode now, so we're sort of making it our own thing. But that's where we started from, and it's such a great. He did such a great job with it. The book. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Yeah, I loved it, except I like noticed some things that were different in the book, but it bugged me that they weren't the same as the show.
Because I can understand that. Yeah, we have, I mean, the Cosgrove in our show, who's Cameron Manheim, I believe is a man in the book. And I don't think that there's a Michael Ealy. And, yeah, it is a little different. It's a little different because I think when you're trying to create a new world on television, it's nice to have different looking people and women playing different roles, and we were trying to diversify our cast as much as possible to reflect, you know, the world that we're living in now.
Cool. Yeah, everything that was different. I was like, that's not how it is in the show.
No, we made some changes. You're not wrong. We definitely made some changes.
So, can you relate to Dex in any way?
You know, we're very different, which is kind of another reason I took the job, because I don't want to play myself because I do that when I'm not working. So I wanted to choose a woman that was living a very different life from the one I lead. I certainly, you know, I can relate to her relationship that she has with Ansel, who is her brother. That's a very close relationship. I have 2 kids and a husband, so my family is very important to me. I'm very, protective of them, and I'm very loyal to them, and I want to make sure everyone's okay. And I feel like the relationship between Dex and Ansel is probably really the strongest one that she has, and the most important one. So I relate to that. But everything else, no. She's a lot more wild than I am, or at least I am now. So I'm not, I don't relate to her, but that's kind of why I like playing her, because it's so different.
So you were in the Netflix show Friends from College with Keegan-Michael Key and Fred Savage. What was your favorite part about being on that show?
Great question. You have great questions, Maya. Thank you.
Thank you.
We shot that show in New York City, so that was really fun. That was kind of the thing that I liked the most about it is it was such a wonderful, fun cast, and it was just so fun to be in that city with this hilarious group of people shooting. Shooting in New York City is a very different thing because normally, you know, people get really excited when you're shooting something on a street, you know, on just like a walkable, everyday street. People get really excited, but in New York, people have more of an energy of, I got to get somewhere, you're in my way type of energy. So a really interesting day-to-day shoot because we shot a lot outside on the streets of New York. So I hadn't really ever worked in New York before, so it was exciting to work there and with all those lovely people.
Oh, cool. So you play Agent Maria Hill in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
What's it like being a part of this iconic franchise?
It's incredible. Are you a fan of the Marvel movies? I mean, is that even a dumb question? Because I feel like everybody is.
I am, but my sister is a huge Marvel fan.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I will say it's very cool because I've never been a part of something that was so supported by the fans, like your sister. Going to conventions, going to Comic-Con, having people be so excited and so wrapped up in the storylines and so connected to the characters. It's so wonderful, and I think it is so cool to be a part of something that started in a comic book form, like in somebody's head, Stan Lee's head or whoever's head, just like writing words and drawing a character onto a piece of paper, which turned into comic books, which people really latched onto and were really fascinated with, and now that has translated into films. But it started in this beautiful, artistic beginning. And I think that there's something that's really cool about that. And what really excites me is when I see fans, or I go to conventions, or online via social media, you get to see the art that's created from the movies. So it kind of becomes a bit of a circle, right? Where like it started as a drawing, and then it turned into books, and then it turned into maybe cartoon, and then it turned into all these movies, and then it goes back to somebody drawing, an Iron Man in their own home from their own imagination. And I think that there's something that's so cool about that, and it's so cool to be a part of. And I'm really proud to be a part of that family. And I think that they've done such an incredible job of not only bringing these characters to life, but also to sort of bring them to life, but also have them be connected to what's happening in the world, and sort of speaking about themes that people sort of think about all the time, but they can experience it through these big, huge superhero characters. So it's a wonderful thing. I've had such a great journey with them.
So, have you had a project that's been your favorite?
Ooh, my favorite? Oh my gosh, Maya, hit me with the hard questions, Maya. Oh gosh, I don't. It's so hard because everything is so. I've been so lucky, really, truly. I would say one of like the bigger, just personal achievements for me, career-wise, was I got to do a play on Broadway about almost 3 years ago now, I think. I got to do a Noel Coward play called Present Laughter in New York, and we ran for about 6 months, and that was I had always wanted to do Broadway, and to me, the theater is sort of it's a very big deal for me. I grew up going to the theater all the time, especially in New York City on Broadway. I used to go to theater all the time, but to me, going to the theater is sort of like this experience that I get to have, which is very personal, and it's a shared experience with a community of people. So to be a part of that myself, and to be on stage and to experience that every night was a magical time for me. So that would be sort of my greatest, one of the coolest things that I've ever gotten to do. One of my favorite jobs.
Oh, that's so cool. So do you have a motto or quotation that you live by?
Oh my gosh, I wish I did. If you think of a good one, let me know. I think for me it is what I continuously work on, which isn't really a motto or a quotation that I come back to, but what I do try to be is present, is in the moment, because I find myself thinking ahead a lot. If I start planning ahead, or I start thinking about, okay, if I'm going to do this, then I'll do this next, or I'll start thinking, or I'll think about the things in the past. I'll think about things that have happened. And I find I'm happiest when I am in the moment, and I'm just experiencing things as they come, and I'm not getting anxiety about the future. I'm not thinking about things that have already happened, but I'm just able to be right here, right now, talking to you. Then I feel a lot happier and a lot more peaceful. So that's something that I'm constantly working on.
That's good advice.
Yeah. So my last question for you is, who do you consider to be a real-life superhero, and why?
Ooh. Maya, I love your questions. I've done a lot of interviews, and you have got some really, really great questions.
Thank you.
My real-life superhero. Ooh. I mean, I think one of the women that I strive to be like in my life is Pamela Fryman. Pamela Fryman was, she directed almost every episode of How I Met Your Mother. I would say she maybe didn't do 10 of them. So she directed over 200 of our episodes. She is such an amazing, strong, smart, nurturing, kind woman. And she's a woman in the same industry that I am, which can be sort of a harder time. And so I hope to be the type of woman that she is and try to live my life in the way that she does, because she's such an amazing human being.
Cool.
What about you? Do you have any real superheroes?
Yeah, my mom and my sister. Yeah, and then you.
Well, listen, I think this is such an amazing thing that you're doing. I mean, it's so cool that you have this show and you connect to people in this way. It's pretty wonderful.
Thank you.
Because you're putting this show out there and people get to hear it and they get to learn and live and laugh, and that's a wonderful thing to do.
It is indeed.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just starstruck talking to you, so.
I'm so happy to talk to you. Call me anytime.
All right. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
We got your number.
Yeah.
But Cobie, thank you for taking the time today so much.
No, can you be my new best friend?
Yes, please.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for making the time today, Cobie, and continued good luck in all of your projects. And we hope we get to talk to you again.
Yep. Maya keeps us updated on Stumptown, so we know what's happening and when the new episode's coming out and all that. So we'll keep watching you.
Awesome. Thank you guys
all
so
right.
much. It was a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.